Hi guys, how are you? I need your help. So in today's video, I want to two things. First of all, I need your help about something, and I will talk about that later. And then second, I want to share with you about a little bit about film publicity, that things I know of. So disclaimer ahead of the time, I do not know everything, and in fact this is going to be the first film I've ever tried to promote and publicized. As you know, it's my first feature film, so I'm actually in the process of experimenting, learning and observing what other people do, and also experience certain events and see how things works. But I'm still in the phase of collecting data to kind of build up my knowledge about film publicity. And then that relate to the questions I want to ask you, since we have a community here and you're all very creative person. So I think maybe it's a good idea to ask your help. And yeah, so first of all, I want to share what I learned and what I know about film publicity that I learned for the past couple years. So I'm not sure if you know this already. There's a big difference between indie film and studio film. What my understanding, what I was told about the difference is that indie film is typically fundraised by production company or individuals, and then they go ahead to make the film, but they are not a distribution company. So companies like Warner Brothers, Universal Studio, Disney, like those very big companies, they are doing their own production, so they're functioning as a production company. At the same time, they do their own distribution as well. And then they are not only do their own distribution, but they also acquire other people's film. A lot of time they acquire independent film or film that produced by slightly bigger production company that have much more financial support. I hope that makes sense. So those film produced and distributed by a distribution company usually generally is studio film. And a film like mine, it's a team of people with production company collaborate and made the film on our own before we even have a distribution. In this case, the film is an indie film. So there's a very different path in terms of how to promote the film. And that's the thing I kind of find I'm not good at, and I'm having the hard time to do it. So if it's indie film, either before the production you already landed a distribution deal, or during the production or after the production, when the film is complete, you might land a distribution deal from different distributors. Also, you might be able to self-distribute nowadays because we have a lot of online resources now. The problem is about they are able to help you distribute your film to different platforms, but the publicity, which the promotion of the film is actually the key to the success of the film. So that's the part that I'm still trying my best to figure it out. So I want to share with you what I observe, what other people have done, and what I was told and learned from people who have much more experience on this kind of topic. What are the things you can do or you have to do in order to maximizing the effect of the promotion of your film. But before I share the list of things that I'm going to do, and I think anybody with an indie film should do, I want to clarify one thing is a lot of time, at least that's what I was told, a successful film publicity is done by a professional publicist. So you have to hire a professional publicist to help you plan and then schedule and then reaching out to different platforms, media, in order to kind of make you feature on podcasts, feature on magazines, just appear at as many places as possible. And the publicists have those resources. If it's from a studio film, of course they have publicists work for the film, and there will be a lot of budget put into promoting the film. A lot of people spending millions dollars just so to promote the film, and things like billboards you see, TV commercials, YouTube commercials, all the social media management, social media posts, like posters on the bus, all the stuff helps, because it's a process of keep reminding people of this project. If you notice already, for example, before Spider-Man released, you will see lots of interviews and social media posts that's recommend to you about the leading cast or their social media accounts, informations. All of those things are done by publicists. That's why they went on a lot of different YouTube channels, talk shows, interviews, or playing games even, to just get the attention, make people notice, oh, they have a new film coming up. Those are done by a huge budget, but what about indie film when you don't have that much budget? What I have seen what people done is that they also have some budget to be able to hire a publicist. The publicist was able to help them getting interview or as a guest on some podcasts and TVs. Apparently TV is very helpful, and also getting into like featured in very popular blogs and podcasts and stuff. Did I already mention podcasts and radios and stuff? And then that's one of the things that I think I can do, but I don't think I have that much of budget to do the whole thing. So yeah, that's one of the things I want to ask you about later. So about things that you can do in order to get ready to publicize your film is, first of all, you have to have a trailer and the teasers. I already have two different trailers, and now I'm working on my film teaser. And the teaser is a very short 15 to 30 second clips about the film. It's like not complete arced trailer, but it has to be edited in a way that's interesting enough to get audience attention. And also I can select a couple clips from the film as promotional material as well. Of course, you need to have all the film still, artwork, film posters and stuff all get done. So that's the first thing to do. The second thing is social media, which I'm really bad at social media, because even though I always posting stuff on YouTube, I feel it's, for some reason, it's much easier for me to keep track and be active on YouTube than be active on Instagram and things like Facebook. I'm really bad at keep track of Facebook. I think one of the reasons probably because I like a more fulfilled, deeper engagement with people. So on YouTube, I get to take my time to create each video. I get to have more meaningful conversation in the comment or when people DM me about the video itself. But on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, those things that you can just tweet any second, you can just post any second, and they require a lot of quantity instead of valuable content. So it's harder for me to keep track of all the engagements that I have in those platforms, because it's almost like break your attention into small pieces here and there constantly, whereas YouTube is once a week. You can spend a longer time to focus on one project, if I'm making sense. But yeah, I have to kind of start getting my social media stuff going again. Not my personal one, but the one that dedicate for my film. I'm going to leave them down below. If you want to support my film, please go check them out. I have Instagram and the Facebook page. And another thing is website. I already registered the website for a long time, but I haven't made a website for my film, so that will be a task I'm going to do in next couple weeks, and it will be a website up for my film itself to get ready for the distribution. And so the fourth thing you can do is what I mentioned earlier, media magazine, which means hiring a publicist. I have been reaching out a couple of publicists, and I'm going to keep reaching out to more publicists to see if I can get some attention for my film. But at the end of the day, it's all about whether or not my budget be able to afford that. So that's something on my list. And there are something else you can do, that you can hire publicists, can specifically get you film review from people who can review your film on their blog, especially from the people who has Rotten Tomato certification. So if you are able to get review from the certified reviewer, it will start helping you get a tomato. And then that's higher on my bucket list. I want to get that done. Not sure how much it's going to cost yet. And then the fifth thing that you can do is to host in-person events. Of course, because of COVID, we lost a lot of opportunity for in-person events. The recent in-person events is better, as you can see a lot of bigger production. They will have the official premiere, invite a lot of media, and having their star walking on red carpet, things like that. But for indie film, that's also something can be done. If you have that budget, you can host your own premiere with parties. Or one of my friends had his film, actually it's the official theatrical release. The first day they host outdoor watching the film events, and people can get popcorn, cocktails, and have conversation afterwards. And another thing, I think if you don't have a ton of budget, it's still costly. But if you don't have a ton of budget, I think film festival is a very good resource. And then that's why most indie film go to film festival, because you are able to be able to showing your film in front of audience, and then potentially get media's attention, be able to get some review from that, or you have more publicity resources, if you win awards, or you can have your star go to join red carpet and then get interviewed on the red carpet. So those interview clips would become a publicity resource that you can use. Also in that way you can meet a lot of different filmmakers, and then from there you can build word of mouth to help you spread the film, which is the last point I want to mention, is the word of mouth. The way to create a word of mouth is to find the right group of audience that your film specifically made for or target to, and then basically if they liked your film, they would tell the people who also interested in similar genre or similar kind of topic. For example, my film is obviously more targeted to Chinese American immigrants, but strangely, I have tons of Western culture people enjoyed my film and find them relatable. So I get a little bit confused. I'm not sure, but I think my main group is still Chinese American immigrants. For example, I have another filmmaker I met in a film festival, and he has made and CGI'd entire film himself, and it's a found footage film. So apparently there is a very big found footage film community out there. There's like a blog dedicated to found footage film, so those group of people would be more of his target audience. So he can go trying to create events or get people's attention to his film and watch his film, and those people will start spreading words for him about his film, if that makes sense. Okay, so after I'm sharing all of those with you, I have done some of those tasks already, and I'm continuously working on them. My question that I have here for you, my friend, please help. I know those lists of things are typically what people have done, but I'm wondering if there is any other things that I can do by myself, or maybe have a couple of team members to help me to do it. That's very unique way, or some ways of kind of special or haven't done by other people yet. I don't know. You're creative, so do you have other suggestions or ways and things you think I can do besides just go out to find a reviewer and hire a publicist, because those things are very costly? So you might ask why I have to pay for those things. That's another very sad thing about most of the indie film, is that distributor willing to distribute your film doesn't mean they willing to spend a lot of money to put into publicity, because it's a lot of risk for them as well. Most of the indie distributor, they do certain amount of work, but they wouldn't do a huge publicity like what we would see from indie film distributor like A24. They would do very big publicity for their film, but they also very selective. They select films that's very unique, that they know they can publicize and they have a target audience already. So they're willing to spend a lot of money, so they take the film in a way that's much more personal to help get the film out there. And most of the indie distributors, they would do some trying to get a little bit media post online or social media post, but we, the filmmaker, unfortunately have to be the one do the most of work. At least that's what I learned and told. If you're lucky enough, your film get into like a place like really big festival like Tribeca, South by Southwest, Sundance, and if you actually won awards from those people, your film get picked up by A24, Searchlight, etc. Those like really big independent film company, then congratulations, you're doing something very right. Anyway, in order to maximize the impact to promote my film, please help me out here, and then see if you have any idea, things that you think I can do to get more eyes on my film, to get people aware that my film exists. Please let me know. One of the things I want to do is I want to print out like a handout cards or posters and stuff, and I'm going to try to go through all like a San Gabriel area, like entire Los Angeles Chinese area, to see if I can hand over, like leave some of my cards at those Chinese restaurants, because there are so many Chinese restaurants and all the people who go there are my potential audience. So I want to see if they're willing to feature some of my cards at their place. Of course, you don't get much more eyes on your stuff if it's not through like online, like a YouTube video, news, or like traditional media stuff. But I was thinking, if people accidentally see it in a restaurant, it's a physical cards, and then they might take home or things like that, it will be more memorable, more personal, because it's digital age. Information just pass by in front of eyes on computer screen or cell phone, tablet screen so fast. There's so many information, it's hard for people to keep track and remembering things. But if you have like actual physical stuff, that might be able to create some different memory for people. That's one of the things I'm thinking about doing. But again, it's going to be a lot of work. And another thing, I have this YouTube channel, and I have you guys. Thank you for being so supportive the whole time. So I think, even though this channel is like not huge, but I'm wondering if there's anything I can do with this channel, or should I reach out to bigger channel that I think they have audience that's similar to my audience, my film audience, and ask them if they're willing to do a collab or feature episode of YouTube video about my film. Yeah, so basically I'm crying for help, and if you have any idea, don't worry about if it's doable or if it's crazy. I want to hear them all. The weirder, the stranger, the better. Any kind of idea that you have. I'm looking for some limit budget ideas, and even maybe some idea that you gave to me, I can't do them, but they might spark some inspiration for me, that I can come up with something based on of what you suggested. And I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, please let me know, leave in the comment down below, or you can DM me on my Instagram, reaching out. And I'm very grateful. Even I can't, or maybe even I can't use a certain idea for this particular project, it can become a list of things we can do, and I can create a list of things that you suggested, maybe sharing in the future video for everyone, and maybe it works for some other type of film too. So I hope I'm making sense. Thank you so much for being here to support my work, support my video, and support my film. I'm very grateful. And remember, be patient, be present, stay creative. I'll see you next week. See you.